Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 5 American battleship, New York. She has 10 356mm guns, 6 secondary guns, 37 AA defense rating, a surface detect of 13.4 kilometers top speed, 21 knots, total health 49,100. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main armament, faster turret traverse, lower chance of flood and fire. For my commander, basic survivability, basic firing training, expert marksman, superintendent, advanced firing training, and concealment. We are on the map Solomon Islands, and this will be a comparison between the two battleships that are currently at Tier 5 and available. The New York and the Congo. Now this enemy Carl, he's over yonder. I fire my guns, I get 12,000 points of damage, and I'm just jacked. I'm like, this is how this game's gonna go. We're just gonna kill every single... Wait a minute. Friendly is dead. It's just me and a couple cruisers. And it doesn't look like it's gonna stop. It looks like there are a lot of enemy ships inbound. Now, I did think the Carl might continue turning, and I was waiting. Of course, I'm still reloading. That's really the reason I'm waiting, but eventually he drops off the radar. We don't have anyone close enough to detect him, plus he doesn't fire. So I decide to go after the Texas. He has a perfect broadside, and we get 17,000 points of damage. Oh, right, this is just perfect. We don't have to really deal with range issues. I'm running with the faster turret traverse because, let's face it, these old, slow American battleships, their turret traverse is pretty bad. Absolutely terrible. I think the default turret traverse of this ship is 49 seconds. That right there is going to cover up the time to reload. So that's why I feel like it's completely fine swapping it in. So we engage the Texas again, and we finish off the Texas. We get 8,700 points of damage. Enemy torpedoes are incoming, and I'm trying to get out of the way. I'm trying to go straight. Move out of the way. That was a close torpedo. Everyone on this flank has died. It's just me, an aircraft carrier, and the Phoenix. Not looking pretty good, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 battleships that could theoretically engage me. Only 3 right now. No enemy destroyer in sight. It looks like he headed off towards B. I'm very thankful for that. I should thank him. And right now it's just looking for a possible target. Now, as a battleship, you really would prefer to engage cruisers. And that Kiev is an ideal target. However, I go after the Wyoming. He is broadside, and my turrets were on point. The front turrets are still rotating, but they're almost in position, and it would have taken them an eternity if I didn't have the module to increase the speed. And I decided, let's go after the Kiev. He's showing a perfect broadside. Why not, right? Fire on his target, and only 1 shell hits. It overpins, does 4,400 points of damage. Could have been better. Could have been a lot better. You know, your eyes just get big. You're ready to kill the enemy with your giant... Really? 4 shells overpin for 4K there too? Come on, game. What's going on? I'm ready to go on the Kiev. I'm going, okay, we're going to finish him now. Where front guns are... okay, we're going to finish the Carl right now. Here's where it ends. We just need the shells to disperse correctly. And it doesn't look like 1 shell all the way to the left. Really? 1 shell? A single shell makes contact? I thought, we'll miss 1 or 2. No, we missed them all. The only one that was nice enough to even touch the enemy ship overpenetrated some smokestack or whatever. But I don't want him to get away. And this is probably the most dangerous position I will be putting myself in. I'm trying to rotate back and pull away from the enemies that are clearly outnumbering me here. I do lose a friendly right next to me. Ooh, dispersed into the Carl. While the enemies continue to fire on my position, I'm just looking for that kill shot. Every shot, overpin, minimal damage. Back guns are almost ready to go. Now the team has done a great job. This flank is really the dominant flank of the enemy, and we pretty much bogged them down, allowed the team to flank them, and I'm like, oh, 1 shell hit, it overpinned. He's not dead. We know at least that much. But there's still 3 enemy battleships, 3 US battleships that are staring me down. And I'm only 50%. Actually, 40% probably. So we just try to get any bit of damage I can get out of the enemy while maintaining good angle. I make sure that my back guns are ready to go. We're going to lead the target. It's about 1-to-1, remember, at 20 knots with the static crosshair. And you really want to make sure you have that alternative information on your screen. It's just really important. And of course, look at the Carl. 200 hit points. The friendly destroyers that have flanked the enemy takes him out. And yeah, we didn't get the kill on the Carl, but I'm very happy to see him die to a friendly. It's so worth it for that. And I continue my barrage. Any target that is willing to show his side, I am willing to fire on him. I do not really care whether they have a lot of health or a little health. It's all about maximizing the damage output for my particular ship in this scenario. Looks like the New York is interested in engaging the friendly destroyers that are getting close. So he's sort of losing sight of what I'm about to do to him. Yes, keep turning. Hold your fire, hold your fire. 5 tick marks, give or take, just a little bit. And we fire at the waterline. Can this end the shot? Come on, end this guy with this single shot. 6,800 points of damage. 4 overpin. 4 overpin. Man, I feel really good about these shots. I'm firing at the right target. You know, a lot about a battleship play is not going after the lowest health target, but going after the most vulnerable target. Because the battleship has the ability to take you out of the fight if you make a mistake. Any single mistake could be your downfall. And that's really the difference between a battleship and the other classes. The other classes really want to pick on a low health target. But the battleship really wants to pick on the poorly angled target. Now, that New York couldn't get out of that one. He takes torpedoes left behind by the friendly destroyer that was killed off. And these 2 division players, they're together, and I really want to let them suffer together. These 2 are like, we'll avoid taking damage. We'll stay at the back. We won't do anything useful. Their team basically is dead. It's all them. There's no one else to protect them. I do have a battleship buddy that's behind me, basically full health. It's understandable. They're low tier. Ooh, pretty good damage, actually. They're low tier. They're not really interested in taking damage. They're playing the battleship wrong, though. The battleship is great when you have angling. Then you can basically absorb a ton of damage, and we do about 6,000 points of damage. Again, no citadel that I'm really looking forward to. Remember, this game started out with like 2 citadels back to back. Hasn't really worked out, right? It's been pretty crappy, honestly. It's a game, though, where we were going up against most of the enemy, and we bogged down the flank long enough that our team could come and support. It seemed like every 3 or 5 minutes, we were getting one person that was coming from behind to assist us. Oh, 90, are we going to get the kill? We do get the kill. Oh, we get a citadel. We finally get a citadel. A 90-point citadel. Really? Really? I felt pretty good. I haven't played the New York all that much lately. We got 2 kills. 1,575 base XP. We held that flank rather well. All of it is in AP, of course. Couple citadels. Not bad. Now, that's not the only game. Remember, I was talking about comparing the New York and the Congo, and that's exactly what we're going to. This is the Tier 5 Japanese battleship Kongo. It has 8 356mm guns, 22 secondary guns, 34 AA defense rating, a surface detect of 15.7 kilometers top speed, 30 knots, total health 54,100. Former modules, reduced crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, reduced the chance of flood and fire. Former commander, basic survivability, expert marksman, and superintendent. We are on the map Neighbors, and this is basically a 180 from that last match. I am in a fast battleship with extreme range. Unfortunately, I'm bottom tier. This is a tier 7 match. So we'll see how well I cope with it. Now, I'm trying to engage the enemy Nagato. It's the tier 7. It's basically just a better version of this ship. And I have great range for my tier. I honestly need that range if I'm getting up tiered this much. The team, however, has pushed a little bit north of the island chain that's just in the center north. And I'm honestly just patrolling for a target that is not my max range. I consider for half a second to engage the enemy New York, but I think twice about it. I say, it's a hard shot. I want to go after a cruiser if I do decide to fire. And we have a candidate here. It's an enemy Bajoni, and I would love to kill this guy. It's a Soviet cruiser. I lead the target about 1.5, and it looks like he actually wasn't going full speed, and I completely overshoot him. Not going to get a second chance at that. He knows we're here. He knows we fired on him. He's probably just going to avoid contact and try and re-engage at some other point. He'll have good angling. He'll do whatever, right? Plus, I got to deal with this enemy Congo that has a... Wow. He has been up-tiered. And he has a terrible hull. That's either the A hull or the B hull. And islands the way. We do 2,000. Could have been better. This Aweigh is in the area, and I would love to take him down. Is he going to be aggressive, pushing forward? Doesn't look like it. It looks like he's going to retreat. Enemy Congo fires on me. I drop the speed. I turn into the shot to slow me down further, and it goes well past. That is the textbook way you avoid a shell, and it's pretty simple. Now, I swapped to Aweigh with the expectation I would be able to engage the Aweigh. I figure, why waste the salvo? Let's go after the Congo, maybe set him on fire, force him to use damage control. Because it's not a bad thing to use Aweigh on a battleship. As long as you can try and get them to use their damage control, it's probably worth more to the team than one Citadel. Enemy Pensacola, oh, he's already dead. Doesn't matter. Now, this is usually what happens on Neighbors. One team pushes the islands, the other team pushes the open ocean, relatively open ocean. They meet at the enemy base, and whoever can defend the base more efficiently, lose less health or ships, that team usually comes out ahead. And I recognize this at this point, and I'm going to try and race them back to my base. While we're doing this, of course, we are going to engage an enemy cruiser showing a perfect broadside. Now, it's not an easy shot. It's a very long-range shot. I lead him in the direction. I try and make sure there's enough depression, but apparently not. Apparently, he's racing towards our base, rather aggressively, I might add. And he's covering a lot of distance. He's covering probably a kilometer, 500 meters, when he's closing the gap, so I need to depress the gun even more. We're about 9 seconds out. The lead for a cruiser going 30 knots would roughly be about 14 or 15 tick marks. And yeah, again, overshoot, Notser. You need to depress the gun. We have it lined up horizontally. We just need to get that vertical down. Get the shell arc down into the ship. So here is another shot. The back guns are still rotating into position. I, again, depress the gun, fire on his ship. He continues to fire on my friendlies, and, yeah. Not looking good, right? We are bogged down in the islands, while the enemy is encroaching on our base. Admiral Stinky Pants, again, continues to show a full broadside, and I want nothing more than the punish. We overpin with that shot. Really? Overpin? Oh, this looks good. This looks like great dispersion. Oh! Headshot. 13,000 points of damage there. Not bad at all. You know, eventually, 5th salvo, eventually, I'm going to hit the target. I can't believe it took that long. I just underestimated the distance that he was closing. Now, not only towards my base, but also towards me. I would really like to kill the Cleveland. He does have a little bit more angle than the enemy Myoko had. But that's not going to deter me. I want him to open up his angle. There we go. There we go. I think this will be good. I think this will be good. And our teammate needs it. The Anshan is desperate. The Cleveland is just so strong. Oh, yes. 11,000 points of damage. That was only 2 of my guns. Is this enough to finish him off? Elevate the gun as he turns away. And we get the kill. We save the friendly. Ooh, I'm going to take a little bit from the Congo. Enemy Kirov. There's another battleship in the background. I think it's a Nagato. Big baby Jabi. Okay. Big baby, we'll go after you. And since the Congo is a fast battleship, it quite comfortably hits 30 knots. So you need to treat it like a cruiser for your lead. But since it's a fast battleship, I tried to hit him with about 1.5 on the tick mark. So it was, what, 6 or 7? We went to 10 or 11. Give or take. It's a long battleship too. So even if you miss badly, you're probably going to hit him. My friend is right there. I think he took a shot from someone. He's on the edge of being spotted. Ooh, that was a good shot from the enemy. I only get 5,000 points of damage against him. I underestimated his ability to slow down, and we overshot. Looks like he's just completely content with sitting at the edge of our base and firing at me. Well, that's not very safe for him. I am rotating in between his shot, hoping to have it done before. Okay, here comes the shot. He unloads it all. He's backing up, so I lead him in reverse, and that's okay. 67, not bad. Okay. The Anshan lets out his torpedoes, and boy, is this Congo gonna get a real surprise when he realizes that he has done the absolute worst thing he can do for his ship. It kind of looked like he was playing with his throttle. He was right at 0 knots, and he was deciding between forward, stationary, or back, and he really doesn't have a good solution. Either way he's going to go, he's going to take torpedoes, and I just want to assist in the damage. 1 torpedo from the friendly hits him. I get 12,000, and this final torpedo should be enough. Indeed, it is enough to take out the enemy. And our little squad, we've got a Cleveland, we've got a destroyer, and we've got myself. We're doing pretty good defending the base. The enemy is having to defend their base from friendlies. And when you sort of have 2 cruisers in the center of the map also providing fire support. Now, who do I want to go after? The closest target is directly behind the island. Not ideal, right? The Kirov is probably the softest target by far, but I don't think he's a threat to anyone in particular. The only ship that is close to the Kirov is the Anshan, and he is hidden in his detectability range. There's nobody close to detect him. He sends out his torpedoes, which is great. We lose a friendly cruiser in the center, which is not. The enemy Nagato does just that. But you know what? The Kirov is engaging a friendly. Let's go after him. I'm hoping to get the back guns just in time. Looks like he's going to head south, or I guess east. Southeast. And it'll set him up perfectly for a... Oh, yes, broadside, baby. 14,000. Ooh, 5K from the enemy Nagato. This is a little scary. We are at a huge health deficit. And he's 2 tiers higher than me. So the best I can hope for is that the friendly hits some torpedoes. Level the playing field. I am trying actively to keep this island in between the other enemies and my ship. Oh, the Anshan. We're going to bump into him. Just a touch. Boom. Man, he slammed into that ship and bounced off like it was nothing. We are safe behind the island. Don't have to worry about the enemy at all. I'm going to reorient. If you notice, I've lost one of my front guns. So, in effect, I should be using my rear as my primary engagement tool, not my forward-facing guns. The stern is the strongest, and I'm just trying to get in position to end the kid off. And he is in reverse neutral. That means absolutely nothing to my battleship. And we look like we have good accuracy. Oh yes, 43. Is it enough to kill him? Friendly does not hit the target. My front gun is reloaded, so I angle to send it. Oh, just in time for the friendly to take out the kid off. And it looks like the enemy Nagato is low, was taking a torpedo, but he can't engage me. This is still 1v1, so I'm going to go after the New York. We get 5,400. Doesn't look like the New York wants to engage me at all, which is just peachy for me. I won't complain. I think it's working great whenever a target refuses to engage you. 3,300. All right. He still has a health pool advantage, and I still need to be angled as well as I possibly can be. And he's trying to reorient, and I try to elevate the gun slightly and lead him in the direction. 3 shells hit the water. The enemy Nagato is trying to get outside of the island, and I think he's killed off. Yes, he is. He's killed off before he can fire his guns. It's all you, New York. Nobody else to help you. You're all alone. And I've got a friendly York, against the New York on the other side of the island. And I just need to continue to keep up my barrage. And I noticed that the enemy New York actually fired on the friendly York, which is great. I could reorient my guns again. I don't have to worry about my angling. I'm right up against the edge of the map, which isn't ideal, but when you're trying your best to salvage the kind of damage that you've been sustaining most of the game, you will do whatever you can. I've basically been at around 50% life for most of the match. Every time they get me low, I can heal back up. And he's rather low. Is this enough to kill him? No, actually, we overshoot incredibly bad. Wow. Friendly gets to kill him. He's dead. Cooled Drake? Cooled Drake? Cooled Drake. 4 kills. Not bad in the York. Impressive. Most impressive. Our assault team failed. There's 2 enemy ships left, and I intend to kill both of them. At least try. So we just have to start going over there. Look how low the Anshan is. Everyone on my team is just unhealthy. I'm actually the healthiest target, which is unbelievable. I've had to use my heal on cooldown, and I've been as low as I think 14,000, 15,000 roughly. While this Congo, he probably has more health than everyone alive on my team combined. Now, that doesn't mean it's fair. Oh, no, it is not fair. And his friendly decides to fire. Okay, where is he located? Interesting. The Kiev is very low. 700 health, give or take. I'm going to fire on the Congo because I don't have a clear shot. There's an island in the way of the enemy Kiev. But while I'm going, I'm going to check him out. You notice that? That's a little cheeky tactic that you can use. You can just see the position of the enemy and decide whether it's worth it to use, say, a scout aircraft. And I do indeed decide it's worth it. We can take this guy out right now. He is at the edge of what looks to be a runway. So it's very flat. And he's backing up. So I sort of chain fire in reverse. And, ooh, some of it hits the runway. But we do indeed take the target out. And yeah, anytime you need to see around an island, just follow in those shells. Press Z or Z for most people. And just check it out. You can sort of scroll wheel that zoom out a little bit and look around the shell. It works great. And here is the Congo. I think this is the Congo that I engaged at the beginning of the game. And it's not ideal. Having the scout aircraft for this, it's not as nice as it used to be. When stopwatch actually existed, I could just bounce it around and see at an extended range with the scout aircraft just to confirm that I'm somewhat in the right vicinity, but here obviously you can't do that now. The Congo, I think he actually picks up on the torpedoes, and he's trying to turn out of the way. It looks like he's going to take 2 at least, maybe even 3, and 2 is all that is needed. Boy, that was a pretty hairy match. I didn't feel like I could contribute as much as I ultimately ended up doing when I saw the matchup, but I'll take it. 3 kills, 106,000 points of damage, 1,853 base XP. Everyone on our team did a great job, and all of it is an AP damage. Big shocker, right? I hope you enjoyed seeing both of these tier 5 battleships. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.